studios of TLC Talk Radio. It's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Jana.
Don't forget to like all of our social media pages, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course, Instagram. And catch us every day on TLCTalkRadio.com. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
What's happening?
Oh, not much. Just doing my do.
You're due.
Doing my do.
So many.
What I do.
Yeah. Things we do. We in action. Do means hair. Do means the wet stuff on the grass when you're up in the morning. Just got me thinking about vocabulary. I don't know why. That's on my mind.
Because you're a teacher.
Oh, and it's almost time for me to go back to work.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I mean, we love the babies.
Most of the time.
We love them all of the time. We may not like them all of the time.
Yes, I agree. I agree totally.
Like, I love you, ain't gonna nothing happen to you.
Sometimes.
I might be thinking crazy stuff. Yeah, we go back in a couple weeks. Thank God for my mother. She's going to help me put my classroom together Monday because she wanted to see my classroom. I was like, great, you can cut out these things. We're going to get that room together in one day.
We opened the kitchen yesterday.
Yay!
So
back at work.
Back at work next Wednesday. We start.
Your babies come back next Wednesday?
Yep. We start early.
But you get out early.
Yeah, we do because we got out before June.
Yeah, we get out in May. We had to stay a little longer because of the snow days we had.
Yeah, we didn't have to do that because they made us do online things.
Can we do that?
They're there. Well, it's coming.
Good.
But, it takes time.
I would imagine so. Time and money.
Yeah.
Resources, somebody to facilitate, in addition to all of the 800. Every educator does 859 things every day. Mm-hmm. And when I say educators, I don't necessarily mean just the people in the classroom. So everybody in every educational building is doing 900 million. I said 850. But they're doing a lot.
Up the next time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
They are definitely doing a lot. So, yeah, back to the 9 to 3 work because I did work this summer. Just 3 hours a day, and I could handle that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, bye.
I did the summer school, too, so it was, did that and then went home and did whatever I wanted to.
See? Yes, absolutely.
It's a good thing about school.
Yeah.
Working for a school.
Well, that's why I left the last gig. I needed the time to build. I enjoyed what I did, but I didn't have any time. I was like,
and you have to have time to be you or you burn out. And then things like mass shootings happen. So let's talk about mass shootings, shall we?
Sure.
Every time we have one, and we've had 3 in the last week.
That by itself
is craziness.
3 in 1 week.
Yeah. It's always the same argument. Mental illness.
Sure.
And guns. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not just 2 things. And us arguing about the same 2 things every single time this happens,
sure,
still gets us nowhere.
Absolutely.
So let's start arguing what's really happening. It's not video games. It's not guns. I mean, guns help because,
right. That
is
the weapon.
The instrument, or the instrument of the situation. However, people who are criminals are not going to follow laws anyway.
I say that.
We get that. You and I are both pro-gun, so it's not like I'm like, oh, no, take away guns, whatever.
Right.
But I do think that there needs to be a limitation on certain things.
Sure.
And if you are classified as somebody who has mental illness, maybe you shouldn't have access to a gun.
I'm with that. That makes, sense to me. That's wise.
Right. But then you get the people who are like, well, it's just one step away from taking all of our guns.
Not necessarily. I think they're reaching.
Well, yeah, that's like saying that gay marriage was going to lead to marrying animals.
Wow. Yeah, that too is a reach. Just Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that one lady, did we talk about? No, we didn't talk about it. About the lady who was dating a ghost. Did we talk about that on there? I don't think we talked about it.
You know, I've tried to curb my resting bitch face, but that deserved it. What?
Yeah.
You know,
I forgot. I think that was on Australia. Anyway, let's get back to topic.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. There are so many components to why people become mass shooters. Mm-hmm. And we have to look at all of them instead of just the 2 or 3. Because it's not video games. Because I play video games. Am I going out and shooting everybody? No.
And the same argument could have been made when we were children watching Tom and Jerry. I did not try to rig up an anvil to kill anybody.
Right.
Go ahead.
I don't even know where to go after that. Now I just have a big anvil stuck in my brain.
I apologize. But the point is, I get the whole idea of influence, you know,
right.
and children's brains not being developed enough to understand that that's just a game. But these were not 10-year-olds doing this.
Right. And the other thing is how they were brought up. How about we start blaming parents?
Okay, I'm with it.
Here's a thought. My daughter, she plays video games. She's into, throwing knives and stuff that seems
we like swords in our family.
Creepy, but
we like swords. I get it. It is what it is.
But she also was taught reality versus fantasy.
Right.
So when she was 3, she started being backstage at theater because my mom made costumes.
Nice.
So she knows what acting is.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She knows the difference between fantasy and reality.
Sure.
And a lot of people blur that line.
Mm-hmm. They do. And I think there's some avoidance. I know someone whose child cannot come away from fantasy life. And, the suggestion was made by his family, get that child some counseling. Something's up, and it's typically, a mechanism for escape.
Right.
But that means there's something deeper that needs to be explored. And sometimes some parents can't handle the thought of the deep exploration. Either it's stay out of our business or nothing's wrong with you're saying my baby's crazy. No, we're saying something's bothering.
That we need to stop before they do go crazy. Mm-hmm. That's that whole mental illness, not dealing with it situation.
Yeah, like any illness, if you leave it untreated, it gets worse.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that aspect. There's also hate speech.
Sure.
Now, if you were brought up around hate speech your entire life, you don't know any different. Right. You don't. And even though on television they're showing you different things, your parents or your grandparents or whoever is around and influencing you is reinforcing the stereotypes that are out there.
Sure. It's very difficult to change someone's mindset without it clicking for them. It's like what we say in education. I can spend 6 hours trying to get you to understand the importance of education, but if your parents don't value it, as soon as you get home within the first 30 minutes, they've undone all of the work that I've tried to, impart. So, yeah, I get it.
Exactly. So it's the reinforcement of, that stereotype. It's our president who continues to reinforce that.
And stoke fear.
People are so bad that they're coming over to take over everything, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you mean like y'all did at the top? Who said that? Was that me?
I don't know.
Did I say that out loud?
Maybe.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
How you mad about a country you stole? What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to calm all the way down.
Yeah.
What does the kids say? Have several seats.
We have some here.
Right.
Take one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's that. What else was I wrote this whole diatribe, of course, on Facebook because somebody had posted something stupid. And I had to educate them that it's not just one thing. It's just not.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's too many things that, like sexual abuse, any abuse, verbal, physical, any kind of abuse is going to
traumatize
somebody, and they don't get help, and they don't understand that there's a different way to live.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to live that way.
Sure.
So if we keep just, oh, it's guns, oh, it's this. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's so much more, but we have to figure out how to fix it. And it's not the avenues that the government is looking into, in my personal opinion.
No, I'm with it. You can't legislate someone's heart, but you can begin, like you said, to educate them to something different. And some people are receptive. Now, you always have your 6 or 7 jerks who don't want to hear anything logical because they are determined to be ignorant.
Yes.
But when you have someone who is willing to listen, then that's a fertile ground,
right,
so to speak.
But in a way, I feel that we have to brainwash people into being educated.
Sure.
Because that's how we're destroying people, is by brainwashing them.
Mm-hmm.
So
with literal fake news.
We could post-positive them,
right,
as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Maybe it could help change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't noticed that anyone said anything about music, though, because it used to be rap music and
and
heavy
rock music,
metal,
heavy metal,
and blah blah blah. That hasn't come up in a while.
Yeah, you're right.
Which I find very interesting.
It's on our minds today. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the reasons are many, so the solutions have to be many, and
exactly.
people have to be willing to explore those opportunities. And maybe it's not what you think, and so I think sometimes the ego gets involved when we talk about solving problems. That doesn't make any sense. You need to do, and hey man, it's not a competition. I just need some healing around here,
right. Mm-hmm.
So that this doesn't happen. I think about how people's anxieties have been ramped up, where you're afraid to do anything. You're afraid to go outside. You're afraid to go to the post office. You're afraid to, I personally, I don't like to walk in a bank.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm like,
You watch too many heist movies?
Too many episodes of the FBI Files, apparently, because I don't want to be in there when they go. Because are you just in here to get the money? Are you in here to get a hostage? Because I can't run. That's not what I do. I don't do that. So, so I'll try to, thank God for mobile deposits, whoever came up with that. Like, I don't really have a reason to walk into a bank.
I haven't walked, I only walk into like the vestibule where the ATM is.
I don't even like the ATM. I'll handle it, but I'm quick. I'm looking around. I got my, I'm on the defense. Like, that's nope.
I pay attention to what's going on around me, and then, in and out. But usually when I go into the bank that I go into, there's usually a lot of people there. I don't know why. It doesn't matter what time of day. Mm-hmm. There's always at least 5 people. So I'm like, somebody's going to do something.
we gonna get
them. It's going to be fine.
Right. This is probably a poor decision. Probably not the lick.
Because, I'm like a linebacker. That's
Lord Jesus. She said a linebacker. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know how to respond to that. So
I'm a short linebacker, but
it doesn't matter. That was hilarious. Not hilarious. Hilarious. As in he. Hilarious. You're a mess. I would venture, to express a lot of concern for people. And then, you think about the loved ones of the people who were killed, or even the people who were injured. I turned away from an interview with a bystander who happened to be with one of the victims. She didn't know him. She was simply trying to render help. And she was trying to, have someone there with him. And she was bawling, crying. And she kept saying, I want his family to know that he didn't die alone. Aww. I turned it off. I couldn't, because she was devastated.
Right.
And she was like, as hurt as I am, how do they feel? And I
Right.
was just like, yeah, I'm out. It's too much. It's one thing if it's a natural disaster.
Right.
If it's an accidental wildfire, although I'm gonna need y'all to pay attention when y'all camping, or a flood or something that's a quote unquote act of God. But when it's this, when
Right.
it's a human created tragedy, then it's like,
Right. And it doesn't need to happen.
Absolutely. You mentioned earlier, I'm pro-gun. I'm all about the range. I'm all about, concealed carry. I don't see the point of a machine gun, though. Not really feeling
No.
that.
Well, and another thing that people were like, well, how did he just walk in there with a rifle or whatever into the Walmart, the one in El Paso? I'm like, well, they have open carry.
Yeah.
People walk around with guns all the time. It's not something that you don't see
Yeah.
in Texas.
Right.
I mean, it's startling if you saw it in Illinois,
Sure.
but not in Texas.
Right.
That's normal for them. So, but I did see a meme which kind of in poor taste, but have to agree with. How does Walmart stop you to check to make sure you paid for that case of water, but no one said anything about this guy walking in with a gun?
I'm with it. I mean, I get it. But like you said, it's a different geographical
Right.
area with different rules. Yeah, they're open. And I always say that people always talked about concealed carry, particularly when there was a debate here in the Chicagoland area. And I always said, well, I'm down with open carry. I need you to understand that I'm not your victim.
Right. And I get it. I do get it. But,
But
like,
again, machine gun,
is that necessary?
no, the high-powered rifles and all of the, listen.
That's
hunt,
not to go deer hunting.
Right.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Right. Because the deer is such a threat. Get out of here.
People kill them with bow and arrows.
Hello. And it just, somebody mentioned, God, was it Colbert? I can't remember. Forgive me for not checking my reference. But the comment was made that, we've had guns since, back when, the Second Amendment and all of that. And the response was, yeah, but look how long it took you to load a gun. Look how long it took
Right.
you. It wasn't this high-powered, mass killing machine.
That you could kill, 30 people in a minute.
Right. Like in seconds.
Right.
So, it take you 3 minutes to load this joker up.
Right. You have to be a good shot and hit 3 people at the same time.
Right. So, yeah, that's not, no.
It is a totally different from when it was when we wrote the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Totally different. And yeah, I'm cool. Like I said, I like guns. I'm cool with guns. I'm not cool with crazy people with guns. I'm not cool with people who don't need automatic weapons or
Sure.
semi-automatic weapons. Like, you don't need that much firepower.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, but I'm trying to protect myself. Well,
From who? Al Qaeda?
Exactly. Oh, and then I had an argument with somebody about, well, if the government takes our guns, then they can just shoot us and whatever. And I was like, if the government wants our stuff,
They'll come get it.
they have a tank. They have bombs.
We're
We're
good.
not. They're not gonna.
They're not coming with nines.
They're not. I mean,
Not what they're doing.
if they want to control us the way that I got into it like a real conspiracy theory situation. but but I'm just saying, like, it was like, okay, here's the thing. They control our food. FDA doesn't really regulate anything, really, because how come we get so much E. coli and how much meat is recalled and how much whatever is recalled?
Because you can have so many rat hairs in particular products, and it's okay.
Right. Also,
Who writes this? Go on.
also there's the chemicals that are put on our food to grow. So the chemicals that are put on our food is genetically modified so it doesn't die from these chemicals, but only the weeds die. But that don't mean the stuff goes away. It doesn't just disappear. It's on the plant and you eat it.
Cancer.
Hello.
Meanwhile, our friend Aja is being attacked for trying to grow her own food.
Exactly.
We're paying attention, Gary. We're paying attention.
Yes, we are. We need to have her back on soon.
We will.
And then, what else did I? And then the guy was like, "Well, how do we get to cancer from this?" And I was like, "I'm just saying, it's all connected. And
Read a science book.
it's like, no, from the conversation.
Oh,
I was like, cancer is being caused by people who are controlling us from the government. They're killing us anyway. It's not about our guns."
it's
And he's like, "Okay, Godspeed, whatever." I was like, "Yeah, you're not ready. You're not ready for the truth."
but you planted a seed though.
I hope so.
Now, if he is a thinker, he will think about that later. He may still be resistant to it. Because how dare you, woman, tell him anything? But, you know.
That's the other thing.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
It
But
is.
The first thing he told me was something about you don't understand the rules of engagement. And I was like, okay, do your research. I was like, So I gave him all this research, and he said, "Well, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about." It's like,
It does. It was the research.
but
you
I
cited.
do research, see?
You shot his planned
So
attack
there.
down. He didn't understand the rules of engagement.
Exactly.
Intellectual engagement.
Exactly.
You know, best wishes and prayers and our thoughts with those who have been impacted by this violence. And then those of us who have to just watch these reports and get anxious sending our loved ones out in the street. And I'm not even talking about kids. I'm worried about my parents going down the street. Like, y'all all right? What you doing?
Right.
You know, as they worry about me. Maybe a little bit too much, but whatever.
You're the baby.
I know. They're good parents. They're crazy, but they're good parents.
That's okay.
Yeah. We were gonna blast a friend of ours. We went from serious to silly. And I sent him a note, and I sent him a picture of us, and I said, "We're about to blast you in our show, Devontae Stone. We love you so much.
So much.
Why do you have a problem with your phone? Like, I need this clip pulled out so we can throw it right on Facebook."
I will really do that. I will do it when I get home.
Yes.
I'm so ready.
What is the problem? So we were joking around. So, you know, the backstory, those of you who don't know us, Dana and I worked together for 3 years. Yeah, I was there 3 years. And
We actually went to school together but didn't know each other.
yeah, because you were a day student and I was a night student.
No, I was a night student. But I was...
When were you there, though?
When did I start? When did I start?
What?
June? May. I was May 9th
What year?
of 2011.
So, yeah, we were there around the same time because I
Yeah.
was Feb Nights 2012. And our teacher, was Devontae your teacher?
He was my second radio teacher, yes.
I was going to cut class the first day of his class, and so I was real late, which is typically not my style, but whatever. And from there, our adversarial relationship began. And, you know, it starts off with him blasting New Edition, and then I got to cuss him out.
That
What
was
do you-
not wise, Mr. Stone.
Right. These are poor decisions. And he said something one day when my girlfriends happened to come up. And I said, "Oh, y'all, Stone was blasting our brothers." And we went right into his classroom and let him have it because his kids were working. But anyway, so Stone is our former teacher, former colleague, and we love him. Congrats on your gig over at 104.3. But why you can't call us back? Like, we're
Ever.
gonna start to take it personal. I wished you a happy birthday, you jerk. And you didn't say a thing. So
Mr. Leo.
that's right. He and Wendell
Yeah.
are Leos. I did reach out and we chatted for a hot second yesterday. He said, "I'm going to call you tomorrow afternoon." And so about 15 minutes ago, I said, "Well, now it's evening." And I didn't even say hello. Just now it's evening and we're about to blast you live on the show. Just so you're clear. But we love you and we miss you.
We do love you and miss you. And yeah.
Yeah, we
You
threw
need to... For a person who's a broadcaster, you need to
communicate better.
Just a little bit better.
A little bit better.
Just a little.
Yeah, we love it.
We ain't asking for much.
I'm just
Just
saying.
a hey.
Something. No, he owes me dinner. I want more than hello. You owe me dinner. I threw the party for you all as a teaching staff at his request, and he didn't come. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm just, yeah.
But we love
Whatever,
you,
dude.
Stone. Friendships are important, and so we try to make sure that we value them. And so we're giving Stone crap because so.
What are you going to do? Come over?
Right.
Be on our show?
This is unlikely. Girl, he would blow my poor system out.
Oh, he would.
I would not give him
He'd
a
have to
microphone.
stand in the corner.
Yeah, just stand in the
The
corner.
mic would be here.
Right. Just Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you don't know Devontae Stone in person, he is the loudest human
Ever.
ever. Like, I've never met anyone quite so loud
Right.
in his regular, normal speaking
Yeah,
voice.
that's his regular. He's not trying to broadcast.
No.
This is what God made him to do.
Yeah. And it's loud.
Yeah. God, it was good.
Yeah.
He pegged Stone right.
I've filmed him before and had to turn my camera all the way down.
Hilarious.
Like, oh, Lord, my ears are going to blow out.
Yeah. And if you ever sat in the office outside of where he taught, you took his class over
And over again.
and over and over.
If you sat down the hallway in another classroom,
In the next building.
also took his class. Oh, I have heard him from the first floor of the building by the elevator shaft
Wow.
before he got up to the 7th floor.
Shout out to Devontae Stone. We love you, brother. You suck, but we love you.
Yeah. What she said.
I
All
love
right.
it.
He's a goofball.
Yeah.
What was the next thing we were going to talk about? I should probably look at my phone. Oh, so ICE did these raids in Mississippi. 208 people were taken in.
208.
280. Sorry,
Okay.
dyslexia.
It's all right.
200 people, like ICE agents, were there.
Hey, that's not even the kind of ratio we have in education.
That's a real overkill.
That's darn near 1-to-1.
Yeah. It like, does ICE have nothing else to do that they could put 200 people 200 people in one area?
In this climate, with the way things are going and the way, families are being separated, could you be an ICE agent?
No.
Yeah, I'd probably not have a job or something.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work out for me. I wouldn't be able to rest. Because you have to follow the orders of the people in charge. And so
Right.
you don't have time to question. You are to do what you're told. And I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, as far as following the orders of their job. But if the job requires me to do something that I can't live with, that I've got to talk to God about, and he's looking at me like, hey,
Hello.
I
I already gave you my teaching, so.
right. What's your problem? It's some things I'm going to have to answer for.
Right.
And some things I'm not going to have to answer for. It is what it is.
So ICE didn't really take into consideration, I guess, how many people they were taking in, because let's just be honest, ICE is already overflowing, right? Just with people coming over the border.
Sure.
So where are we putting these 280 people? I don't know. Let's just do it. How about these 280 people who have children? Where are they going? Mississippi doesn't seem to have the big, what is the agency that takes care of kids?
They just don't have the resources.
No, but what is the agency called? I can't think of what it's called. DCFS. They ain't got that kind of... So if you got 280 people and let's say everybody has 2 kids. Where are all these kids
one.
going?
Or just one. Shoot.
Right. Where are all these kids going? Who's taking care of these kids? Oh, let's not think about that. Let's not warn DCFS that this is happening. Hello?
Because their job isn't hard enough.
Right. And it's Mississippi. They probably got about 4 agents. Let's be honest.
We got to research that. I don't know. But
It's
yeah.
probably not.
But
I'm
typically,
just
those
saying.
agencies are overworked with the regular duties
Issues.
that they have.
Right.
So,
Let me go place 400 kids. Okay.
It's a lot of thoughtlessness, or
Right.
just a lack of caring, or both. I'm not sure which.
It's a lack of planning.
Yeah,
Like-
but I mean, they don't care to plan.
Right. It's just like, oh, let's make this look good.
To
Like
who?
we're doing something. Okay. How about you, like, look good doing something efficiently?
Sure.
Let's get somebody in charge who's like, oh, let's not do this massive raid. Let's just do little raids. Because we have space for 10 people.
Let's process a few out and see what the
Exactly.
next steps are. Ugh.
But no, let's just do this massive raid and not know where to put all these people. And we've had to transport, because there isn't 200 ICE agents who live in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So they had to be shipped in from somewhere. So they had to leave their families and their homes, ship themselves to Mississippi for a day or two. I don't know how long it takes to process people. It probably takes longer than that. But they had to disrupt so many lives
Sure.
just to do this big raid. It makes no sense.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm not a fan.
Well, yeah. I mean, you try to wrap your mind around some of the decisions made at, local levels, your job levels, and then you wonder how did you get to be in charge? Like, what happened to the critical thinking skills?
We don't have that anywhere in government anymore, I don't think. Like, I really don't think we do.
I wonder if we do, but it's intentionally, if they're thinking critically with a sinister, maybe I have a pessimistic point of view.
Well, I think it's like I was saying before when we were talking about the mass shooting situation. If we don't look at the entire picture, we can't really come up with a solution.
Sure.
And that was not a solution. That was a publicity stunt because the acting director showed up.
Really?
Yes. So why would the acting director show up? They don't come on raids. Looks like it's a publicity stunt to me.
That's incredible.
That's some marketing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boo for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Well, that's unfortunately the world we're living in. I guess for me, I wish we could all be kind. I get that people have these back motives, things we may not understand, higher level. It's
Yeah,
just
but
it's
if you're-
hurtful.
If you're not doing things for the benefit of others, you're doing it for the benefit of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're in government, you're supposed to benefit others, not yourself.
Yeah.
That's how it
you're
was
supposed
set
to
up.
be the representative
Right.
of the people's voices, not you and your homies.
Yeah. Your homies, a.k.a. the lobbyists.
With the money.
Right. Yeah. I disagree with all that.
Where are we with time?
We're over. We're at 33.
That's okay. I think we had a productive conversation. We always go over. We're gonna do better with that. We need a timer. Yeah, a timer right here in the center of our. Did you like our new space?
I do like our new space. I was a little weirded out how I was going to do cameras, but I like it.
It was great. I think
It's
that's a
kinda
great
cozy.
note. Yeah, it's cozy. Hey, friend. From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, you have been listening to DT on Our Minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And catch us every day, multiple times a day on TLCTalkRadio.com. We will catch you next week.
Peace.